Hi, welcome back to Learning with Math with Marvin. Today, we are going to explore the second solution to this problem. So, the first thing we need to do for this way to work is we need to declare some things. So, for this way to work, we have to say that the square root of x plus 7 is greater than 0, the square root of x plus 2 is greater than 0, the square root of 3x plus 6 is greater than 0, and the square root of 3x plus 1 is greater than 0. We also have to declare that the square root of x plus 7 subtracted by the square root of x plus 2 is not equal to 0. And we also have to declare that the square root of 3x plus 6 minus the square root of 3x plus 1 is also not equal to 0. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, we can start solving this equation. Now, in this way, we think of the equation a plus b times a minus b is equal to a squared minus b squared. But for this equation, we only have the a plus b part. And if we were multiply it by an a minus b part, we would have to divide by a minus b. So we do exactly that. So now this part, the left hand side of the equation, is now the square root of x plus 7 plus the square root of x plus 2 multiplied by the square root of x plus 7 minus the square root of x plus 2 divided by the square root of x plus 7 minus the square root of x plus 2. That's the left-hand side of the equation. We do that to the same thing except for the right-hand side. So the right-hand side is going to be the square root of 3x plus 6 plus the square root of 3x plus 1 multiplied by the square root of 3x plus 6 minus the square root of 3x plus 1 divided by the square root of 3x plus 6 minus the square root of 3x plus 1. Now, all I did was multiply and divide by the same value on both sides, just so we can get these two numbers squared. Now, so this turns out as x plus 7 minus x plus 2 over the square root of x plus 7 minus the square root of 3x plus 2. That's only the left-hand side of the equation. Now the right-hand side would be 3x plus 6 plus not plus minus, sorry. Minus 3x plus 1 divided by the square root of 3x plus 6 minus the square root of 3x plus 1. Now the next step is to open up these parentheses to like combine like terms. So this would now be x plus 7 minus x minus 2 divided by x plus 7, the square root of x plus 7, minus the square root of x plus 2, which is equal to 3x plus 6 minus 3x minus 1 divided by the square root of 3x plus 6, the square root, minus the square root of 3x plus 1. Now we can just combine like terms since we've already gotten rid of the parentheses. So this side is going to be 5 divided by the square root of x plus 7 minus the square root of x plus 2 which is equal to also 5 divided by the square root of 3x plus 6 minus the square root of 3x plus 1. So now we've proved something. We've proved that this and this is equal, because if we move this to that side of the equation and this to this side of the equation, they're both being multiplied by 5. And when those two 5s cancels out, we know that this equation is that the square root of x plus 7 minus the square root of x plus 2 is equal to the square root of 3x plus 6 minus the square root of 3x plus 1. So we have our second equation. So now we have acquired the second formula, where the square root of x plus 7 minus the square root of x plus 2 is equal to the square root of 3x plus 6 minus the square root of 3x plus 1. So this, let's say this is formula 1 and this is formula 2. So now we add formula 1 and formula 2. So we get the square root of x plus 7 plus the square root of x plus 2 plus the square root of x plus 7 minus the square root of x plus 2, which is equal to the square root of 3x plus 6 plus the square root of 3x plus 1 plus the square root of 3x plus 6 minus the square root of 3x plus 1. So now we can factor things out a bit. This is a plus, this is a minus, so we can cross those out. This is a plus, this is a minus, so we can also cross these out. And now for the equation, we are left with 2 times the square root of x plus 7, which is equal to the square root of No, which is equal to 2 times the square root of 3x plus 6. So since they're both being multiplied by 2, we can cross these out. So now we get x plus the square root of x plus 7 is equal to the square root of 3x plus 6. Now we can square both sides to get x plus 7, which is equal to the square root of 3x plus 6. Now we can just solve for the equation. And after you've done that, you get 1 is equal to 2x. So x is therefore 1/2. Now what I did here was add both equations because you can cross these out and they're equal. So in conclusion, we created a new equation to help us solve the first equation.